Welcome back to Demo 690. This is now about 2 days later, and I've been working at some of these panels, and as you can see with the side panel now, I've got it pretty smooth, and I believe that this will paint up pretty decent. Got all the rough places all smoothed out. So I'm hoping that this heavy scratching is not going to show up in it. I don't know if you can see that. I still have to go over it with 400, so that might help it. Everything has to be gone over with 400 grit paper. I did try converting some of the rust here on this. You can see that it's more or less black. This is smooth, ready for painting. Needs just to be, again, rubbed down with 400 grit paper. That's the front mud yard. Then over here, I filled in the back rear mud yard. It's not perfect, and it's going to need a couple more filling ins before it'll be right. This is just the first, what I call the first glance over, which is going to be a lot of sanding, but hopefully we'll get it into a place where it's not going to be that noticeable. Here it's a little bit flat looking, so I could put some more on top of that there. Maybe I will try to sand it down first, just to see how it turns out, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be a little bit of a flat patch there. Not that it's going to be seen under the seat anyway, but there you go. We'll just have a look at some of the pieces that I treated with vinegar the other day. You can see that that was the brown patch that I showed you in the video, and you can see now that that is pretty much sanded out, and whatever's left there is black, so hopefully that's not going to come back. These little pieces here will need a little bit more work. I will try and get most of that rust away if possible, maybe with a brass brush or something. Here you can see I tried to convert some of this rust underneath. Not too sure how successful it was. Just have to see. But it's not in that terrible a condition now, and it'll soon be ready for painting. Hopefully, if I get at it a little while this evening, and tomorrow we'll maybe have them ready for painting this week with a bit of luck. But we'll see. That's the only pieces that are left, bar the number plate holder and the stand. I have to get the stand back. It was getting welded, so once I get that back and the number plate holder ready, like all the blue stuff is nearly ready to be painted. I have another one of them panels, it's a red one, but all I had to do is rub it down with 400 grit. It was okay shape. I didn't need to fill any pieces. It's just the filling in that takes so long on these projects. So I really need to get it right on this mudguard. Just this back piece, it's not as important elsewhere, but the back piece has to be got right. So we'll just have to see how we get on. I'll get at it with a sander now and see how it works. So I've been at this mudguard for a little while now. Starting to smooth out all of the filler. As you can see, it's starting to look a lot better. It doesn't feel a lot better though, and feel is one thing that will tell you everything you need to know when you're painting a panel, because if you can feel it, you can see it. So if you're feeling a bump here, and you can see the high spot, if you can feel that, you're going to see it. So I need to add some stuff on from about here over, because that's a low spot down in there. Here is a high-ish spot which needs a bit more filler. I may fill from here back to here, and we'll see what way this works out for us. Well guys, so it's the next day again, and I'm back at this CD175 rear mudguard. I'm trying to straighten it up. So this is the second layer of filler that I have put over it. I'm just trying to straighten it out. And so what you do is get yourself a cheap tin of black paint or dark coloured paint. I just skid it over it. Don't paint the thing, but just skid it over it. And you start sanding, and then you'll see the dark patches are all the low patches, which you need to sort out. So it gives you a good idea of where your low patches are and what might show up when you spray paint it. So that's what I'm doing now. As you can see, I have a lot of work to do yet to get this right. But hopefully today I'll have it sorted out and we'll be ready to paint next week with a bit of luck. By the way, I just thought I'd mention, if you're doing this sort of thing on a patch that size, you need to block sand it. Don't sand it by hand, because what will happen is you'll get low patches that you can't see, and then you'll go to spray it, and when you spray it you'll be able to see it in the reflection of the paint. So it's very important that you block sand this and get everything exactly level if you don't want it to be noticed. So that's just another bit of advice for anyone that doesn't do painting and doesn't know how to prepare properly. So I'm now on my third pass of filler, because this part was a bit low on the top where it had been cut out and filled in with a metal piece. And at the back I've got this feeling perfect now. So my philosophy is, if you can feel it, you can bloody well see it when it's finished. If you can feel any bumps there or anything, that is going to show up on your car paint or whatever automotive paint when you paint it. So it's very important that you have that sanded right and you don't feel any bumps and stuff like that. Tiny little pits like that won't show up really if you use a filler primer. That won't show up, so you needn't worry too much. I had a rather large one there, so I just filled it in again and I'm going to rub over that. But it's getting there, it's very nearly there. I filled in the front bit where there was a bit welded onto the end, but that's not going to be seen anyway, so it doesn't really annoy me. I also got, and you might be watching yourself, from a man in Graham's in Monaghan here, this rust inhibitor Autowall or Owatrol. Never used it, don't know anything about it, so I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a serious risk on this in case it messes with the paint or reacts with it, but I hope not. I've only painted it onto the pieces where it was actually really needed, like around here, these edges, the top of this, here. I've already done the vinegar part of it anyway, which usually works, but I just wanted to make sure that I'd done a good job of it this time, because the mudguard was so bad as with rust. Put a little bit on the tank as well, as you can see. There's the tank, just put it on the little spots where it was needed. I didn't put it everywhere or brush it over the whole thing, but I'm hoping that that's going to be okay, and I'm going to rub that all around again with 400 grit anyway, the whole thing. So hopefully the 400 grit will get rid of whatever parts isn't needed or whatever. But that's it, that's all I can do for now. I'm waiting for this filler to dry, and I'm waiting for the Owatrol to dry. So I'm going to go and have a mug of tea, which is the Irish thing to do, and let this all dry off, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've been at this for a few hours now, and my progress is pretty good. I mean, I can't feel any bumps there now at all, especially on the top here where that piece was filled in. It doesn't look clean at the minute because I had it upside down and I was trying to clean the inside of it out with the wire brush a little bit. That's why it looks so bad. I did come across a spot of bother when I was wire brushing around these edges here. As you can see, there's a little rust hole. There's a little one on the other side too. My brother's not going to do any more welding for me, so I have to figure out my way around this, and the only way around it is to just fill it in. There's nothing else I can do. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to mix up a bit of stuff and fill it in. show you the underside. I've cleaned it up a bit. Now, somebody in their day wanted to preserve this mudguard, and that's the only reason it really exists today. And they put, I don't know if you can see that black. What that black is it's wax oil. So somebody had put wax oil on this, and that kept a lot of the water out of it. And that's the only reason it probably exists today. And as you can see, the wee pieces for holding the wire are in a very fragile condition, and I still need them, so just have to leave them the way they are and use them the way they are. This one's okay. That's where it was filled in, the patch, and another patch there, as you can see, the welding. So that's that. Right, on to this Waterall stuff. Where is it? I wasn't impressed with this. I painted it onto a few spots on the mudguard, and it just refused to dry. It's almost like an oil. So paint will never stick to oil. In my opinion, it's not a good product, unless maybe you have to leave it overnight to dry. I don't know. I wasn't impressed anyway, and I got a load of petrol, and I just I rubbed it all off again, because I'm afraid that it's going to contaminate the paint, and that would be a disaster. So I didn't end up using it, but I tried it. I put a few bits of it on the petrol tank here to try and inhibit a few bits of the rust. As you can see, it's still not dry, it's sticky. This is on about 2 hours now, and it's as sticky as anything, so I'm just going to wipe it all off with petrol. Not impressed. I'd rather take the chance on having nothing than having something like this mess with the paint. So that's as far on as I am. I'm going to start rubbing it down now. I was at 80 grit with this, so I'm going to rub it down with a bit of 120, then a bit of 180, the whole thing now, and give it a good scrubbing with it. Then 180, then 240, then 400. That's for this one. This tank's already done to 250. All I have to do is run over it with 400, and it should be good, assuming I can get this sticky shit off it. And that's it. So that's as far on as I am, and hopefully I'll have this done tonight, and it'll be ready for painting next weekend. So after a long and drawn out year, she's ready to go. She's ready for paint, all rubbed down with 400 grit. The mudguard, I'll show you now, turned out just really nice, and you can't feel any of them bumps anywhere. I filled in them 2 little holes, as you can see on the side. There's the other one. It's not going to be seen anyway, it'll be under the seat, so that's kind of a bonus. Not too bad in there. I mean, once the primer goes on, that should be alright. What that black you see is the wax oil that was put on it. So I've cleaned it as much as I can get it. It's decided having that wax oil on it is probably a help to it anyway, you know. But that Waterall stuff that I put on this, my God, I cannot get it off. And it is as sticky. Not impressed with it at all. It's obviously it's nobody's fault, because you just take a chance on these things, and car paint's a lot different than any other thing you'd be painting with, so you do have to be very careful what you use. Tomorrow I'll come back at it, and I'll see if it's still sticky or what the story is with it, and then I'll make a decision on whether I should try and sand it off. But I did remove a lot of it with petrol earlier because I was worried. And the tank's the thing that you'll be looking at the most on a bike, so I really don't want to take a chance. And I put it around the edges of this, and it's very sticky. We'll see tomorrow. If it's still sticky tomorrow, I'm going to have to go around these edges with sandpaper or something and take it off. I I removed a lot of it from the back with sandpaper, and anywhere where it's going to be very noticeable to the eye. But that's it. We're all ready to go with the paint next weekend, hopefully, if I can get. But I know my car has to go and get looked at. So I don't know if I'll be able to go and get the paint, because Friday's the only day I can go and get the paint. But if I can get the paint on Friday, we'll be painting this hopefully next weekend. And all the blue bits will be done. And she'll be ready to all go back together and get back to the owner. So wish me luck with that one. I hope that I can get it painted next weekend. But that's it for tonight, guys. Nothing much more to say. I think next week also I'll be going to look at a Ducati 600 SS. My friend has. I've been working on it for a while, trying to get it to run. It will run on choke, but it won't sit there and run, and it's giving problems, and I think it's the carburetor. It does have a fuel pump. We did change the fuel pump, and the fuel is coming out whenever you switch on the fuel pump, so I know that it's moving fuel, and it has to be a carb issue. And we've bought a carb rebuild kit for it, and we're going to rebuild the carbs on it, so hopefully that'll get it running. I don't like to film too much when I'm around people's houses, because you don't know what they're going to be like about that. So watch the space. Maybe I will film a bit of it. But bye for now. Don't be afraid to subscribe to Damo690 and leave your comments, please, because all comments are welcome, and I do like to have the banter with people and you know, just a bit of fun. Also, please, it's very important that you give a like to my video if you enjoyed it, because that helps the YouTube what do you call it? Anyway, it doesn't matter what you call it, you know what I'm talking about. It helps that to suggest my videos to other people. So there you go, guys. Thank you. Bye for now.